Hey, this is Redban, and you're listening to Muff Said here at DeathSquad.tv. Please check us out on our website and check our live dates. Me, Tony Hinchcliffe, and Sam Tripoli are coming to San Diego to the American Comedy Co. for a Halloween comedy show. We have got a bunch of special guests already lined up, so just go to AmericanComedyCo.com and get your tickets. Or just go to DeathSquad.tv for all your ticket links to all our live shows. Just scroll down a little bit and it says Death Squad Live Shows right there on the front page. Also, please check us out at ShopSquad.tv. That's where we have the limited edition Kitty Cat t-shirt. This is a t-shirt I designed, and we make a limited edition of them. And once they're sold out forever. And any money we make from this pays for everything we do here at DeathSquad.tv. It keeps us afloat, so please help us out. Go to ShopSquad.tv. And now, here's a brand new episode of Muff Said.
Get your ass back to school, back to China, Illinois. Get your ass back to school,
you know what I mean?
Back to China, Illinois. If you're going back, better get yourself some pencils. Get yourself some condoms if you're messing with the stencils. If you throw a party, better get the freaking tinsel, because every single day is like a Christmas party, mother humper. Get your ass back to school, back to China, Illinois.
Hey, this is Redban coming to you live from Death Squad Studios for a brand new episode of Muff Said. Here is Ryan Keely.
What's up, everybody? I am so excited to be here today. This is a big show today. We finally got a beer sponsor. No, they're not giving us money, but they are giving us free beer. That's cool. It's very cool. Yeah. Yes. Also, it's the return of Robot Pants, a.k.a. Mr. Nick Ahrens.
I feel like it's been so long.
It has been so long.
It's been so long. I apologize for being gone.
Yeah, you didn't even, last time I checked, you didn't even tweet for a month. And
I've been taking a break.
I thought you died or something.
I actually got a few text messages from people going, Are you all right? I'm like, why? Yeah, I'm fine. Like, why? They're like, you haven't posted on Facebook in a week. I was like, well, I'm just not using it really right now. So I've just been taking a break from the old social medias. Feels real good. It completely changed and repaired my habit of checking my smartphone for no reason. That's gone now. It's fantastic. So maybe I'll come back.
Yeah. No, if you want to check your smartphone constantly for no reason, download Pocket Trains.
Oh boy.
Okay, so we've talked about my issue with resource management games, about how I'm totally addicted, and I had to sell my iPad because I was playing resource management games.
You should you should get a job at the public water works station and just fucking run that shit perfectly. Seriously. Just the efficiency jumps 300% because you can't leave work.
Yeah, well, Pocket Trains, it's I think it's free on your iPhone.
Probably.
And you get to build your own. You get to run the trains. You get to take carts.
Everyone loves trains.
You gotta get shipments to Barcelona and then Madrid. Yeah, it's really boring, but I can't stop playing it, guys. I am a total junkie. We have a very special show today. We have not one, not two, but three guests. Man.
Two for now.
And
the third coming in a bit.
Third coming later. We have Brad Neely from China, Illinois, and Dave Newberg, director of a fantastic short film, with us. Welcome, guys.
Hey. No, I'm not the director.
You're not the director.
Another Dave. I won't even try to take credit for that.
Oh, well then who are you and what are you doing here?
I produce China, Illinois.
Oh, shitballs. That makes a lot more sense.
By the way, the intro song that you heard is fantastic. From this, It is. We were all everyone stopped what they were doing and just started grooving right when that came on. It was awesome.
Yeah, who was it? Is that an actual band, or is that somebody that you just made, or that song you just made in house? Because it is actually really catchy.
That's me.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's awesome. Just me.
Everything, the whole thing.
Yeah, in the office.
That's awesome. Little grunge band, little Macintosh action.
Well, yeah, something like that. Yeah, they taught me how to push the buttons and stuff. But,
I'm a big fan of all of the musical breaks on China, Illinois. I was saying that I was a little bit late getting to the studio today because I got distracted watching the videos on autoplay, which is such an evil, amazing feature. I'm
I love that.
I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop.
Yeah.
And Motherfucking Balloons might be my new favorite song.
Yeah, that one I'd been sitting on for a long time trying to shoehorn it into everything. We had put that into an episode and cut it out for all these episodes. Finally, it's done.
Frank's happy place.
Motherfucking balloons.
Yeah. Can I have one of those beers?
Hell yeah, we have Omission gluten-free beer here. Would you like a pale ale or a lager?
I'm gonna get the blue one. Oh wait,
pale ale and yellow's the lager.
I want the yellow.
Okay. So about this beer, real quick, I'm impressed.
Really? I haven't tried it yet.
I mean, I don't know how gluten-free beer usually tastes because I've never had any inkling to ever try it, but
As a beer,
it tastes like beer.
Yeah, delicious
I'm
beer.
impressed. Good.
This is from Windermere Brothers, who have a lot of delicious beers. We will be sampling them over the next bit.
The next few shows.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like the beer that they gave me and like trying to figure out the math on how long it's going to last.
Yeah,
and you try not to drink it.
This doesn't seem like it'll make the whole hour, really.
Yeah. Oh no, it won't. Yeah, we're gonna drink it all.
Yeah. Well, actually, I had it. My Wednesday night is Magic the Gathering night at my house, and I had
Magic the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering. Yeah, my mostly female play group. And I had these 2 things of beer, and I was like, okay, well, I need to chill them for the show tomorrow. But if I put them in the refrigerator, someone will drink them. So I had to with this whole thing where I had to hide them in a closet.
Do you live in prison? It's a crazy.
But the thing with warm beer for me, it's like when I get a beer that's warm, I'm initially disappointed. Like, oh, it's not cold, and then 5 seconds after I start drinking, I'm like, I don't give a shit. I just immediately just stop caring completely.
Well, so have you guys ever been to the quote unquote restaurant, Twin Peaks?
Oh,
no, but I've been to Bone Daddy's, the Tilted Kilt. I've been to. I did a
Hooters?
tour in Texas one time. It was terrifying and it was kind of cool at the same time.
Which part of Texas did you do that in?
Like Grapevine.
Okay, yeah. I lived in Austin, Texas. For
No,
a
it wasn't
while.
that cool.
But they have one of those there. I forget what
I
it's
have
called.
been to that one. It's the Twin Peaks, and they have this thing where
It
they.
is.
It is the Twin Peaks, and they serve the beer at 32 degrees because it's like the coldest beer you can possibly get, and
Is it chill cooled like Coors?
I don't know how they do it, but the
Or
thing
chill
is
brewed.
that you're not supposed to have beer that cold because then you can't taste it.
Yeah.
It completely destroys the flavor profile. Like actually, when you're tasting beers, you don't want them super cold. You want them cool.
Also, beer seems to do the opposite thing as soda, whereas the carbonation, the bubbliness, I think the colder it is, the more it kind of gets you. At least it does for me. Because when you drink a warm soda really quick, you kind of get like it's horrible.
Yeah.
If I chug a cold beer, it starts to I start to regret it halfway through. Like, fuck, this was a stupid idea. Yeah, I
You
think
can drink a cold beer a lot faster.
that's true. That's true.
Goes right down.
Somebody told me, people got into that craze of putting vodka in the freezer. You've seen that stuff? Somebody told me that drops the, it freezes the alcohol content or something and makes it separate.
Less alcoholic.
I don't know. Maybe
I don't know if I believe that.
I
don't believe
it was
that.
somebody,
I've gotten pretty drunk off frozen, quote unquote, frozen vodka before.
Yeah, I think they were just wanting more room in my freezer. Now that I say it out loud, that sounds really stupid. I'm a very gullible person. You'll see. I'll believe anything you say.
Ryan, I wanted to show you this. Did you know that South Park made a Magic the Gathering commercial in 1997?
no.
And Trey Parker and Matt Stone didn't want to do it. And so they were forced to do it by, I believe, Comedy Central because they had some kind of thing with Comedy
It was
Central.
right when the show started, basically.
Yeah, it was
right?
97, I think it was. And here it is. So they ended up doing it even though they didn't want to.
Oh my god.
This program is brought to you by Magic the Gathering, the trading card game of strategy and imagination.
Wow.
That sounds fucking gay.
2 years later, they were showing Magic on ESPN. By the way,
As a sport.
that was on ESPN2 or whatever, and I've been playing Magic recently, so I'm not going to bash it, but I was a little bit annoyed that was taking precedence over skateboarding and stuff like that. I was like, really?
No, Magic the Gathering is not a sport that needs to be televised anywhere
No.
other than Twitch. And even that's a stretch.
Yeah.
Is skateboarding still not an Olympic event?
Nope.
Shit.
Snowboarding is, but no skateboarding. It's a crime.
It is.
It's a crime. I mean, we have the X Games has snowboard or a snowmobile backflip as a sport. I'm like, really? That's the only trick you can do on a snowmobile. You can do 3 other tricks on a snowmobile. And I grew up in this industry basically, and I'm now giving it a lot of shit. But you can't do like once they did the backflip on the snowmobile, it was like
For those of you that don't know, Nick Ahrens was a pioneer of the snow skateboarding.
Yeah.
He has been featured in YM magazine.
Oh boy. So
snow skateboard.
it's like skateboarding on the snow. We can get into that later, but I just want to rip on this for 1 second because once they did the backflip on like the motorcycle, and then they did the backflip on the snowmobile, I was like, what else is left? Like you maxed out your sport now. Like there's nothing. That's like playing baseball and they hit home runs every hit, like every up bat, and it's like this isn't fun anymore. Like great, you're done. Two backflips. I think one guy did that and like broke his neck in like 6 places. So I guess that's the sport now. Is just how much can you hurt yourself?
Now they got to build like handrails and stuff for the snowmobiles.
Like a big giant inflated city where the snowmobiles are going downstairs. I'm like,
exactly.
You know what? We laugh at that, but they're probably planning that for the next X Games. Yeah.
Yeah.
That will happen. Man, those X Games.
They're so extreme.
They are so extreme.
You worked in the X Games?
I competed in the X Games twice in the Winter X Games. Yeah.
I always think that it's an X-Man thing.
It's a what?
It's like X-Men.
Oh, X-Men? I wish. That would have been cool. Like, if it was like snowboarding, but you also had to dodge like giant robot lasers and shit like that, would be so much more fun.
It sounds like that.
They need the XFL was a short-lived football league made by the WWE.
Oh, I remember this. It sounded like my favorite thing ever.
It was terrible. So, like, around that era, too, they also had slam ball. If you remember, that was basketball and trampolines. And these were two, like, legitimate sports that people, like, wanted to succeed. But the funny thing is about, like, the XFL it was fake. Like, it felt so fake. But they had, like, such cool ideas. That's when they put, like, cameras on, like, zip lines and shit like that.
Right.
So, like,
those in the NFL, though.
yeah, now they use them for everything. It's, like, all this amazing stuff. But, like, I want them to try that again. I want somebody to come up with a stupid, crazy sport, put like a shitload of money behind it, and try to make it popular again. I'll watch it. I will totally watch it.
I have heard of something called extreme arm wrestling.
Oh my god, that sounds like arm breaking.
I actually think that Josh Barnett, who will be with us shortly, has done it.
I will not arm wrestle that man because he will murder me. He will win the arm wrestling competition. I will flip twice, and then I will just die.
No, my favorite thing about playing Magic the Gathering with Josh Barnett is every time that I win, I'm like, I defeated the War Master!
And then you're terrified because he's like an undefeated MMA champion. You're like, I'm so sorry. Don't break my skull. Yeah. So extreme. This is the most extreme episode we've ever had. We've never talked about extreme sports, and I've just been like pining inside to do that.
Are you serious?
Oh my god!
Well,
you've worked in the double flip twice already.
I know,
you
right?
Double flipped on the.
I got to make fun of snowmobilers. It was great.
I actually have been watching some extreme sports. So I'm on this. I booked this job, and I have to lose a certain amount of weight for it, which is whatever.
Fucking Los Angeles.
It's kind of annoying. So I have been spending like an hour on the cardio machine every morning, and thankfully at my gym they have the TVs in it, and I'm always there's 4 channels, and it's the weirdest selection of channels.
It's like sports, like TBS,
yep.
the movie channel, and like CNN. A non-stop CNN basically.
Yeah, it's intense, and I've been watching the Red Bull Cold Rush. Where they like
Okay. I guess Red Bull does make crazy fucking sports. Flutog and like the downhill racing.
Well, literally they take these guys and they just like they take like the best backcountry skiers in the world and basically like drop them off the top of a cliff.
Oh right.
And it's like a 3-day event.
It's like a survival too. They like have guns and like have to kill bears and shit like that.
I watch that American Ninja Warrior sometimes. I got into that. And that's just like American Grip Warrior. It's
it really is. Yeah,
like a plumber could win that.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, it's basically if you slip, it's like just don't slip. Like that's the biggest thing about that. It's like they're like these guys are in top shape. Like I think they're actually just really good at like not falling. Like you know what I mean? It's like this guy's been training for 10 years by just playing on the monkey bars at his local like playground. You know,
this guy can hold on to a stick like nobody's business.
He is also a plumber in his spare time.
I watched a China, Illinois episode where you
guys
let's
talk about this.
The Dean's List.
Oh, yeah.
So in this episode, why don't you tell people about this episode?
Oh, well, in our world, we'll take something like, everybody has heard of the term a Dean's List, but I don't know what the hell it really is. So we turned it into
like a fancy list, right?
It's a fancy list, I think.
Smart people.
In our world, our Dean's like voiced by Hulk Hogan, and he's like really angry, aggressive alpha male. So it's more of like.
Does he say brother?
He doesn't. We've
You like phase that out of his script?
We don't write that in. Yeah. We make sure that it's
he wants to, but
he does. But we like to keep the Dean and Hogan separate because he curses. He says things that are
inappropriate.
Non-Hogans. He's an actor. He's playing the Dean. But brother is so much Hulk Hogan.
It is so Hulk Hogan.
So much Hulk. I figured out why he does it too, because he meets so many people. He doesn't know anyone's name.
He just says, yeah,
and it makes you feel special.
Good to see you, brother.
Good to see
you,
you, brother.
Fuck yeah, dude, he remembered me. Yeah. I like that.
He doesn't know my name. I've directed him in 20 episodes. He
no
doesn't
idea
know who I am, name of the show. He's just like, what am I doing? Anyway, Dean's List is like The Running Man, or what's that? Hunger Games. Yeah, Hunger Games, where they take students and teachers and let them loose on campus and give them guns and shit, and they have to kill each other. So that's an extreme sport.
They need to do like with paintball, but then turn it into Running Man, where it's not just like
What's
teen versus.
Oh
man, it's a Schwarzenegger movie from the '80s where it's like
I just thought it was a dance move.
It's basically the Running Man actually kind of predicted like modern reality television. It's almost like the Amazing Race, but they kill you if they catch you.
Wait, does it predict the future more or less than Demolition Man? Because that's my bar of amazing action movies that have totally predicted the future.
It's pretty on par
with RoboCop in there too.
Yeah.
RoboCop is the one that had like climbing for dollars, like a and that shit's for real.
And then there's I guess Idiocracy, which was supposed to do this, but they had ouch my balls.
Yeah,
which honestly is America's Funniest Home Videos, or YouTube, basically.
Right.
Yeah, Vine.
Have we talked about me watching America's Funniest Home Videos? I didn't realize that's what you like. It was YouTube before YouTube.
Yeah.
That's what you did growing up.
It's Tosh.0.
It really was.
Tosh.0.
It was, and with hosted by a comedian who's twice as dirty, but couldn't be on the air because it was on ABC. Bob Saget, man, I love it.
I was raised without television, so when I discover something like America's Funniest Home Videos, I'm like, what is
Oh man,
this?
that was amazing. That's a crazy intro, and then they always had like a little Easter egg at the end of it. Like the family would sit down, kind of like The Simpsons, but it'd be different every time.
Yeah.
And then the first thing you saw on television?
The America's Funniest, just like dads getting hit in the balls by their kids, basically, just bonk.
I recently saw it, and it blew my mind.
Well, you probably saw the AFV, the stupid new one. That's what you probably saw. I'm talking about the classic ones where it was like the videos were even more precious because like 5% of the population had a video camera at that time. And it was all rich people getting hit in the balls by their kids. That's what it was.
And cats.
True.
And cats.
True, yes.
Cats jumping things.
Cats falling off it. Cats freaking out.
So, in the spirit of extreme sports and kicking things in the balls, I would like to welcome to the show Mr. Josh Barnett.
Is this thing on?
It's on.
This thing.
You need to
Take
talk
my
into the
wife,
tip.
please.
Okay, I have a question. Have you participated in a show or a sport called extreme arm wrestling?
Everything I do is extreme. Extreme marbles. Extreme cornhole. Extreme. That's not.
It's a game. It's a game with beanbags and boards, and there's holes, and there's scoring, and you drink beer. It's great.
That's a hell of an intro.
Yeah, it's really similar to the act.
That's actually what you do. That's what you do professionally, right?
Cornhole.
Yeah. Not people. The game. I was trying to be on your side.
No, I mean either way. It's all a lot of fun. It involves bags and holes and throwing things into other things.
Yeah,
I often play it on the lawn, both of them.
Yeah.
Nothing like the sensation of moist dew on some freshly grown grass and out there in the parking strip.
Where are you going with it?
Deep inside somebody special.
That isn't some suggestive language rolling off the tongue over there.
It was all PG-ish. I guess unless you really knew what I was talking about.
Did that guy just fall down in that video? What the hell is this?
I looked up extreme arm wrestling, and these guys are tied together. Their hands are tied together, and they're punching each other in the face with their other hands.
They look kind of stupid.
X-arm.
X-arm.
It's a thing.
Yeah, no, it is. Well, sort of.
Sort of.
If you want to tell me there's a sport where all you do is you charge at each other from 50 feet with the biggest dildo you can find and hit the other guy in the face,
like
someone will be like, I want to play this game.
Yeah. That's called D sport. Yeah.
You
I
can
wanna-
do
I
that
wanna
in
do it on a
Saints
motorcycle.
Row the Third.
Yeah, you can.
So, but it didn't. Actually, one of the original creators of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. This was something of his, Art Davey, and they started off with a collection of professional arm wrestlers and professional fighters, and they were all essentially heavyweights. And the thing was, you could win by pinning the guy's arm in the arm wrestling port. I mean, as this whole thing's going on, but you could kick them and punch them and try to submit them, break their arm.
At the risk of pissing off a whole group of guys like you, it seems like a sport that was conceived while really drunk.
No, I will say that I actually trained a fighter who fought somebody recently who a lot of their fight experience was in X-Arm.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, if you can't really take away anything skill wise from any of this kind of
It looks like a bunch of just
it's just
hoping
mayhem.
for the best.
But but I go, they got to be tough as shit, because if you're going to wrap your hand up, you can't go anywhere.
Guy who's trying to kick your ass.
Let's just punch each other in the face until somebody goes limp and then pin their hand.
See, now we need to tie it all back together, because we were talking about Running Man earlier. So what we need is Running Man super arm, like strongman arm competitions where they just keep punching until one guy just falls over.
How's the Running Man
trailer? Because I have
we were talking about the Running Man earlier.
Wait,
wait till you die.
They're not redoing that, are they?
Oh no, I hope not.
It's got that guy from Family Feud in it. You know?
I've never seen Family Feud.
Yeah,
Wait, which
Richard
Family
Dawson,
Feud?
Richard
The original
Dawson.
Richard Dawson.
Not Louis Anderson.
The guy who used to, the guy
Richard Karn? Come on.
When I think of Family Feud, I think of
The
Richard
original,
Dawson.
I totally
So do I.
understand.
That
When
guy
I think
made
of
out with
America's
everybody,
Funniest Home
too.
Videos, I think of Bob Saget.
Exactly.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So let's get back. I want to get back on track because you're talking about China, Illinois. Let's take it from the top. Tell the listeners a little bit about the show.
Oh, okay. It's a half-hour show on Adult Swim. It's about a school where the teachers are crazy and the kids just want to learn. It's kind of a reverse Animal House. But I didn't really go to college, so I don't know what I'm talking about when I'm making this show. So it's sort of like super college or super high school is what we call it.
Which sounds way better than college.
Yeah,
Way more fun.
yeah. It's animated. We got Hulk Hogan does a voice, like I said. I do a lot of the voices.
Greta
Gerwig, Hannibal Buress, Chelsea Peretti, Jeffrey Tambor.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Does your wife have you do the voices in bed ever?
Oh God, no! It's
wow.
kind of, you can't talk about this show in the house anymore.
You're like, so on the show, like, I don't care. Like, I don't stop. I get it. You make a show. I get it. That's
shut
what.
the fuck up.
Yeah.
Go get the groceries.
Yeah.
yeah.
But just once, it'd be kind of funny to hear Frank's moans while having an orgasm.
Funny enough, I've done that so many times.
That's where the inspiration came from.
Great. Yeah.
That's the first thing I think about when an orgasm is brought up in my life, is Frank's terrible voice.
How challenging is it for you to do so many different characters? I mean, I've been a fan for a very long time watching your work, so this is nothing new to you, but...
What a bottle opener there quietly.
No,
but he did something.
He's taking it
cooler.
off with his teeth next time.
Yeah. Oh no.
Man. I don't. It's not a trouble to do that. Sometimes we have to I have to be shitty for a little bit where I can't do some like, oh, that doesn't sound like Frank. Oh, that doesn't sound like Frank. And then after a while, I'll get into the rhythm. Baby Kicks is pretty easy to get into when you say.
Yeah, I mean, this second season, though, you've kind of closed that gap of how long it takes to slip back into.
Yeah.
Well, that's the biggest thing about voice acting. I've always wondered is like when you start having like tons and tons of characters, and they're like, "All right, it's time to do this one." Are you like, "I fucking forgot how to do that"?
Yeah, there's some of those. Like I'll do some ancillary characters or guest characters and stuff, and that's a little bit harder to keep tabs on. But like Steve's a little closer to my regular voice, and then
Do you ever just want to cop out and just make one just your straight voice?
Well, it's troublesome to make sure that you can't hear it because I don't want somebody to hear the
figure out it's you.
Yeah. I like the mystery. I feel very strange talking as myself. Actually,
You can do the rest of the show in character.
Yeah, you can just do whatever you want. Yeah.
Should have said that at the beginning. I'm a costume bag in my car.
Well, you don't know what he actually sounds like. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that is true.
He's just doing another voice right now.
This is the voice.
Yeah, it's true. I'm
This is
a
the interview
polite
voice.
British man.
Can we play the topical of the next episode of China, Illinois, please? If people can see it, if they're watching, which you should be. This show is cool on download, but it's better when you watch it.
It is. It's better on video.
Really good on TV.
Yeah, it's way better. You can look at Nick Ahrens' beautiful face, featured in YM magazine.
Again, twice in one episode. Wow. I actually signed a waiver when I did that magazine that YM and all of its fucking crazy like publishing parent companies were not liable for any stalking related activities. Yeah, I'm not kidding. There was a stalker waiver. Like usually when you do that kind of stuff, you sign a permissions waiver to use like the content that you do in a magazine or anything like that. And it's like no, we are not responsible for fallout. Basically like a fallout clause. I was like, Jesus Christ, nothing ever fucking happened. But I was like, I was 19 years old. I'm signing this thing, going like, and the team manager for the team I used to ride for was like, so basically what this is saying is like, if like a 14-year-old girl murders you and wears their skin, like your family's gonna be fucked. Like it was basically what it was saying. Yeah, it was terrible.
I remember a similar thing for Red Book. I had to sign.
It's the stalker clause.
Apparently they have really ravenous fans. You know, that fan base doesn't take no for an answer.
Yeah, that's basically what it was.
All right, let's take a look at this.
That's the first time anyone's talked about Red Book. That's fine.
This is actually a different clip, but I like this clip. No, play this clip. This is a good clip.
Well, I got 5:45 and it's 5:45. Gotta get a Whopper and a 40 right. Yeah, you know you fucking feel me. Yeah, you know you fucking feel me. Yeah, you know you fucking feel me right. Working at the Michael's, got the first shift, cracking packs. Got my knife and my gun, so just step it back. Only girlie near my age is a little odd. No, that's mean, I should say she just into God. So tonight there's a party at this girl's house. I think we're cool because with stamps I always help her out. She is fine, but her friends are kinda this and thatness. But with me I better help her find her inner catness. So I dance with my manager Vance, asking if I could just get a friendly payment in advance. He blows me off, so I scoff, throw my smock, check the clock, take it off, check my wad, feeling soft, all I got is 5:45 and it's 5:45.
This is kind of long, you know. Probably like it though.
I'm enjoying this. We're fine.
Well, I got 5:45 and it's 5:45. Gotta get a Whopper and a 40 right. Yeah, you know you fucking feel me. Yeah, you know you fucking feel me.
Do you have a CD out with all these songs on it?
Oh, you gotta do
There's
one.
gotta be one.
I would buy this.
Yes.
Yeah.
For
We
sure.
got the cheap wine, the equine, the real fine, the drink line, the earth sign and the bovine, the supine and the piss line. I see stamps with an idiot champ. I'm waved over like Red Rover to the lady and tramp. We're introduced, he's a dick like Beetlejuice. I pop my stick, but she winks and it's sick, so it chilled us in the nick. Yeah, you know I retract my Logans. I ease up and I slay with slogans. I joke hard and I pose like Hogan. Then I grin and I take my moment. I'm clearing zones like a Mindy Jones. I'm from the tomb of bad perfume, it's time to bring it back home. I got me 5:45 and it's 5:45. Gotta get a Whopper and a 40 right. Well, I got 5:45 and it's 5:45. Gotta get a Whopper and a 40 right. Yeah, you know you fucking feel me.
I love the fuck tattoo on his neck.
You fucking feel me.
I was so surprised how cheap death traps were.
Is that Quiblo?
Yeah.
Did you draw this too?
Yeah.
So did you grew up skateboarding?
Yeah.
I can always tell a skateboarder because people who don't skate don't actually understand how skateboarding works, and just by your drawings, I can tell you understand how skateboarding works.
That 360
flip. The 3-flip over there, and I saw the overcrook on the car. I was like, what? That was cool.
Yeah.
See, it just keeps coming back to extreme sports this time.
I know it.
It's the most Muff Said Extreme Edition.
You should definitely do a CD of this stuff. This is hilarious.
I would buy it. I love
Absolutely.
the sound of it.
It's so good.
Very
I
relaxing.
appreciate that. I'm always wanting to relax some souls.
I'm a big Kenny Winker fan myself.
Oh yeah.
He's making an appearance this season.
Yeah, he's in
Season 2.
China now.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, but Quiblo's an all by his lonesome guy for me and Dave's website, Crease Comics.
I love that. Like they have the fuck tattoo, the fucking shirtless skateboarding. That's perfect.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
I mean, we had to check and make sure that you could actually afford a 40 and a Whopper somewhere in America.
For $5.
Impossible to buy that.
Alabama, you can.
Michigan, maybe. Yeah.
They could have had that 99-cent Whopper promotion going on.
See? Yeah.
That's what I based that memory on for sure. One summer,
Because the high end is the beer right there.
Well, you'd be surprised.
I guess it depends on the 40.
A 40, man. There's some things out there called like Sledgehammer Joe.
Well, even like a 40 of Pabst, where I grew up in the Midwest, it's actually cheap where I grew up. So you can get that for like $1.50.
I was always a Mickey's Ice kind of girl.
Wow.
40s, yeah.
Colt.
I couldn't hang with the Colt. I couldn't. It was too rough.
What about the camo beer? You ever see that?
No.
It's just a beer. It just says camo and it has a camouflage wrapper on it. I mean, if you drop it in the bushes, you're fucked. But,
that's a brilliant campaign because there's a whole giant percentage of America that's like, that's my beer right there.
Mm-hmm.
That is my beer. It speaks to me. It's got an aesthetic that I think is pleasing. And it's just my beer.
In public too.
Yeah, no one can see it when you're drinking.
Exactly.
Can someone who is a fan of the show, if you find camo beer, can you ship it to us, please? We must have this. Actually, back to the beer.
It's a La Habra mainstay, I think.
Do you want to watch the right video?
Yes.
Okay, I think.
And while we watch this video, y'all take a sip of the Omission lager, and we'll have to rate it after this.
Hey, I'm China, Illinois. I hate him. I hate you. I'm done with you. I hate you.
I don't think I can deal with this side of you.
Yes! Sunday on China, Illinois.
Yeah, they were doing this thing. Steve is such an asshole. That girlfriend was getting clingy. She wanted to do something for his birthday. So he started acting like a dick in front of her. And she's like, I gotta leave. That was Brooke Hogan, by the way, doing that voice.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah,
we guest spot action.
She did a bunch of voices all over season 2. Her dad was like, you gotta bring my daughter in, she's great. And we're like, yeah, whatever. And so we did it once, and she had all these voices she could do. I was really surprised.
Really?
Yeah, she's actually really good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've done the self-sabotage in a relationship before, where you like. I what I do is I just get really fat.
I've done worse. I've done the like. I'm just feeling down and depressed and like I just suck. Oh god, I'm just like a fat piece of shit. Like I just like, you know what I mean? Like just like eat shit, like come on with like Taco Bell. Like this is this is all I got in me right now.
And the sad part is when the girl actually goes, "I love you for who you are," and you're like, "No, you're not supposed to really do that."
I dated a girl who got pissed multiple times that I brought home like shitty food because I was just like I wanted to feel like shit, and she was like, none for me, seriously. I think she was like legitimately pissed off. I didn't bring her like cheesy gordita crunches from Taco Bell.
I usually just if nothing else works, I just tell them my penis doesn't work anymore.
It's just
broken.
Yeah, it just stopped working.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I called the manufacturer and they said the warranty was up. I don't know, dude. I'm just gonna have to try and take it into this Armenian guy. I don't know.
Gives me a good deal once in a while.
Always has to be an Armenian guy with your penis, doesn't it?
It does, and they really know how to.
They do good
take
work.
Control.
They do good work. Soft mouth.
Yeah, they're good with the shaft.
So tell us a little bit about Brad Neely and Dave Newberg. Tell us a little bit about your website, Crease Comics.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I needed a hard segue out of that one.
Oh, it's fine. No.
It's just some of the most awesome shit out there. It really is.
Oh man, that's nice. I appreciate you saying that. I've been drawing cartoons since I was a kid, and for some reason I started up that name Crease Comics like way back when I was living in Austin, not going to UT, but acting like I was. I gave them a bunch of comics, and they put it in their student paper, and they never asked me if I was actually a student. So,
and you weren't, right? Just like in the mailroom.
I just walked into their office and found the slot and put it in there. And then next week, I saw my comics in the paper. I was like, I guess that worked.
They're like Jason turned in on time for once. We're super excited. Yeah.
What a great
Comics
website.
has all of Brad's old stuff on there, all the videos and single panels that he did, and
all the Super Deluxe stuff.
Yeah. I did stuff for Super Deluxe, kind of with this same sort of like I drew all this. Like it's all just me doing drawings and
So do you like
music and stuff.
like weekly updates or like what do you? I mean, is it kind of archive of your work?
Yeah, for a while while I was super underwater doing this television stuff. But now that I kind of figured out how to not die making TV, I've gotten back to doing new things. So I was doing like single panel drawings, like every day, and new videos.
That's cool.
Yeah, like that Quiblo. That Quiblo is the first one.
So that's from the site, not airing on TV.
Nobody's paying me to do that shit. I just got to get it out of me.
Monetize, man. You got to monetize, bro.
Yeah, put those Google ads.
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah.
Get some of that googly money.
Yeah, get that 35 cents
per
Click
1,000 views.
Click through, buddy. Come on.
Now,
so that's cool. So what else can is it it's just artwork videos? You guys doing other stuff? Are you guys going to publish stuff?
T-shirts, like T-shirts,
swag. We're selling T-shirts and shit like that. I'm gonna really try to push it on there in a little bit. I want to get some videos out of my system and keep doing some drawings, but I want to do some crazy shit. We're talking about doing toys. I wanted to do fish food in the shape of little Osama bin Laden.
wait, how do you do that? Because fish food is tiny.
They make them in a mold.
Yeah, you can
so like
those flakes are in a mold.
You can pack it in a little mold. Drop the Osama down in your water, just like we did in your.
You should do a bunch of like old like famous gangsters and like that. Anyone who's ever been fish food, you know what I mean? That's amazing.
Yeah. So that's
little bricks on their feet. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my things I'm working towards.
Got a dream, baby.
Kickstarter right now.
Yeah, aspirations.
I'm asking for $35,000 for a fish food campaign.
Okay, so what did you guys think about the omission beer from Widmer Brothers?
I actually can't believe this is a gluten-free beer because I hear a lot of bad shit about gluten-free beer, and I actually think this is pretty good.
I'm sad that we're out of the yellow. I'm going to try the blue. I got to try the blue though.
You want to try the blue?
Wait,
yeah.
You've been serving me gluten-free beer?
Yeah.
Am I just like one step away from being a vegan now? Is that what's going to happen?
Because man, we're all getting systemic stomach diseases, man.
I'm going to start
Subway.
hiking Runyon and living in West Hollywood and shopping at Whole Foods.
It's a gateway drink.
Fuck, I'll be doing yoga and Pilates, and all my clothes will be made from hemp. This is gonna suck, man. A lot of chafing. Wow, you are dangerous with those.
How are you managing to every single one?
I don't.
He's never actually had beer before.
Yeah, this is
We're just so excited about the gluten-free beer by omission.
Finally, a beer for me.
I wish that was so true.
No, this is
For a throat sploosher, this is pretty good.
So and honestly, like I've had a lot of gluten-free food, and I've usually people are like, yeah, it's really good, like for a gluten-free brownie. I'm like, yeah, but it still tastes like shit. Like, I'm sorry. It tastes like shit. I guess if you're going to put this on a spectrum of only gluten-free food, it's probably pretty good. But, like, if you want to put this on a spectrum of just food, it's pretty bad.
Exactly.
It's like 5%.
Yeah, this stick that I found, it's not as bad as I thought it'd be.
It tastes naturey, you know? Like, but this is, I will say, this
flavor.
is, and not just because they sent this for free, this is actually a good beer.
Okay, so on a scale, our the Muff Said official scale of beers, it's
1 to 5,
1
right?
through 5.
Which I think we need to alter and make it much more complicated.
You do this every time?
Every time.
Every time. I'm gonna give it a 4 because it's gluten free and it's tasty.
It's got some like very nice like bright top notes.
Just knowing my poop's gonna be regular after drinking this is fantastic. Honestly, it's just that's what it's gonna do.
That's you know, it's
You
nice
can't
to
talk
have
about potty
that
stuff when I have water in my mouth.
Off the air, Ryan calls me gross constantly.
I give it
every other minute.
3, but a 3 to me is like that's a good solid beer. Like a 4 is starting to reach exceptional, and a 5 is like the kind of thing where you'll stab old people to get it.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
So a 3 is actually a really high.
Well, our 3s are the Miller High Life, the Belgian style pale ale from Ommegang, and Joseph Brau Hofbraubrach.
You know what? The Ommegang Belgian style is fantastic, and Miller High Life on tap is pretty delicious.
We gave.
Miller's a solid 3.
I'm not a big.
solid 3.
Bottles can mess stuff up though.
Yeah,
You know,
it's true.
Like PBR in a bottle, can't drink it. In a can, like it. On draft, love it. You give it to me in a bottle, though, and I will fucking cut you.
I think it's disgusting. I think it's always disgusting. All right, what do you guys think?
Oh, it's fine, man. As long as it gets me a little drunk, I don't care. I'll drink.
Just a box of Cocoa Dodos and a couple of these, and you're good to go.
Exactly, man.
I'm sorry, I can't help it. I've literally seen. I'm just waiting for when we get to see the full story of that dick sucking janitor on that aircraft carrier.
We got a super fan in the house. They weren't prepared for a super fan in the house.
Ah, man, you know that's Tony Danza.
Yes, it is Tony Danza in a return to form.
Yeah, for some reason Tony Danza used to wear all white in movies, and he was like,
that was a thing. That was like,
he's like, I'll be in your movie if I can wear all white. You call me Tony, and I got an orangutan in there. Those are his caveats.
And now Don John. He's in Don John. He's just in a white fucking wife beater.
Exactly. I bet. Do they call him Tony? Is his name
Probably.
Tony?
I haven't seen it yet.
He probably won't turn around if you call him by a stage name.
Tony.
Hey, Brian, who's that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Call me Tony.
Samantha died twice.
Angela.
Right.
Ghost.
Those are the only other
Ghost
names he has. Jonathan, Angela, Mona, Samantha, Tony,
Crockmaster.
Monkey.
By the way, I remember an episode of Who's the Boss where they did like a family road trip, but you could tell they didn't have any kind of budget beyond the normal set. So what they did to like show their progress on the road trip, they had a micro machine on a map, and they like clearly like attached a magnet. You know, you'd like slide two magnets under a table. They were like dragging it with a magnet. It was so
Micro machine.
It was a micro machine.
That's great.
They couldn't afford John. What's his face? The guy, the world's fastest talker, though.
Oh, the Galoob guy.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
I was just thinking about him wearing all white. You know how Gandalf wore all gray, and then he died, and then he came back, and he's all white.
That's the Tony Danza. He's the new Gandalf.
Tony the White.
So there was a Tony the Gray. So Tony Danza is 150 years old, a wise old magician.
I mean, can you believe how good he looks in that fucking Don John movie?
He looks like he's gonna kick someone's ass.
I know.
Looks like he's gonna rip your head off.
He is a professional boxer.
I am a little scared
Yes.
making fun of him.
He was
publicly.
a real professional boxer.
Really?
He was heavy-handed. He wasn't amazing, but he was a solid dude, had a winning record, knocked some guys out. I mean, that was like a no-joke thing. So when they originally, I think the first thing he ever did was Taxi, and they brought him on. They're like, you're going to play some slightly stupid boxer named Tony? And he's like, okay.
I heard that his name.
I got it.
I can do that.
That character name wasn't Tony originally. It wasn't written as Tony.
They're like, all right, action on Steve, and he's like, what?
Where's the monkey?
Yeah.
Look at this old clip of Tony Danza. I think before he was famous, like just eating a
wearing
hot
white.
dog.
So that's another thing that he's a boxer in the Who's the Boss, right?
Oh, former boxer.
It's another thing where he's the monkey, the white suit. I'm a boxer.
No, he's a
Basically, everything's
he played
autobiographical
No,
for Tony
see,
Danza.
I watched a lot of that show, and I'm pretty sure he was a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox.
You're
in that.
right.
Yeah.
You're
Oh, my bad. I'm
But
sorry.
in the opening, he's doing the
That's
speed
true.
bag. He's
That's
doing a
true.
speed bag
He's
in
doing
the
the
opening.
speed bag, yeah. And then he's yelling at Angela.
Angela.
So did they ever hook up in that show? Because it's like
I've never seen this show.
I
don't even remember.
It's just like the worst attempt at sexual tension ever.
I
It
know
really
it.
was.
Well, it's because she's like just a gown on a hanger, pretty much.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
She's like this
Yeah,
weird skeleton.
Yeah, she would wear, and then like that. There was always the comedy bits that her mom would just flirt with him constantly.
Mona,
yeah.
Mona.
from Soap.
Who was also in Time Bandits.
Yes, she
Yeah.
was.
She killed it as the ogre wife.
That's right. I love her there.
Mona. I always saw that show and I was like, who's named Mona? Like that's not a person's name.
That's a name you get after you've lived some life.
That's true. That's a nickname. That's
Yeah.
like she lived in Queens for a while, then she lived in Detroit for a while, came back around the bend. She was known as Mona.
Yeah. Well, Tracy O'Mona.
So for super fanning about stuff, one of the things that I've always really enjoyed about your work is the fact that you manage to take history and, make it hilarious, of course, but it's not a matter of just reinventing it, but actually sort of telling it slightly true, but slightly off.
I think that's the only kind of history there is. I don't think there's a true one out there.
Now, the winners write it, but, it's only in their favor.
I think it's always, being interpreted one way or another. Might as well make it a little silly.
Having fun with it, yeah.
I don't know. Telling stories is fun. And whenever you're doing history, a lot of the work's already done.
Songs about JFK, about American history, famous American moments of maybe.
Of maybe, yeah.
Nat Turner's Punch-Out.
Nat Turner's Punch-Out was a video game that I had in mind for a long time, and I was like, I guess I better just do it here in a cartoon. No one's gonna.
That's the kind of thing that you're just sitting watching, and you go, yeah, fucking of all things, Nat Turner. And he's running around with a pitchfork and shirtless, and there's flames behind him. And you're just going, this is fucking. Oh, the Bearstronauts and
That's right. Bearstronauts.
We're going a little too deep. Is it possible to watch the Running Man trailer from the 1987 movie? Because
fuck yeah,
I still need to see this.
Yeah,
honestly, I didn't really know it was this bad. So I'm gonna draft up a plan. We're going to watch, key episodes from Who's the Boss, America's Funniest Home Videos.
First, you need to put my TV on the goddamn wall like you've been saying that you're going to do for goddamn 6 weeks.
Oh, and Dynavolt, is dead.
What?
The guy that played Dynavolt.
In the year 2017,
who is an actual
innocent man
international level wrestler.
Choice. Hard times.
And probably a friend of Schwarzenegger's. That's how he got him.
Perfect.
He always like Jesse Ventura and all that.
I'm trying to watch the trailer, guys.
Sorry.
He's a running man.
Yeah, he's dead. He was like a
back.
Norwegian prince or something.
Wait, he said that more than one movie?
TV show in history.
Yeah, he was in Stir Crazy.
Guess they want us to stay.
I watched this movie for the first time in German, by the way.
It's a game between life and death.
Jesse the Body's in this.
Oh, he kills it as Captain Insano.
My former governor.
Give you a lift.
That was a railing kill. Fucking 80s and the railing kills.
There he is.
Richard Dawson. I wonder how much herpes he got from kissing all those contestants.
The running man.
In the Hunger Family Feud.
He's playing for a prize.
By the way, this movie is super violent if you haven't seen it.
It is so freaking awesome, though.
I love it.
I think this might be the best movie ever. How have I not seen this?
You've never seen The Running Man?
I've never seen The Running Man. You missed the whole conversation that we had before you got here.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies that makes me feel real safe to watch.
It's like a little blanket around you.
I get like that with the...
First time I saw this, it was in German. I watched it in German. I don't know why. I was like...
Mushrooms,
probably.
I
was pretty young, and I was taking, German class.
Oh.
And my parents got a hold of a bunch of German television, and one of them was a dub tape of The Running Man in
Your
German.
parents got a hold of some German.
Yeah, something like that. I was trying to learn or whatever.
They told you a weird
so
story.
I watched the whole thing, and so The Running Man in German is extra angry
How old
and
were you?
violent. I was pretty young.
So
I was in
then,
middle school, I think.
So you had that, right? So you're traumatized watching these people massacre each other.
I thought it was
with
great.
Sharp. Well, I'm sure you loved it, but then there had to be that moment when if you're recording all this German content, you go up to your parents, you're like, "Mom, why do they use their poop such a way?"
Well, it was one of those things too, where it's just it helped reinforce the violent German thing. You know what I mean? It's like all the bad history of Germany, and then to help learn German, I'm watching The Running Man uncut in German.
We watched
starring an Austrian guy dubbed over into German, which was the best part.
We just watched Kafka, the movie Kafka in German. That was about it in German class.
That Soderbergh movie with Jeremy Irons.
Yes,
that's pretty good.
Of course you did.
You can't find that.
No,
it's not. I can't find it anywhere right now. I want to rewatch it. You know how they had that square shaved out of that guy's head, and
I'm sorry to bring up bad memories now. It's like things that bum him out. He's like, oh, I want to have fun and talk about cool stuff, not this movie I can never have.
So another really cool thing that we want to talk about is there's a short film that was put out by Titmouse. It's called Pinched. Who was it directed by?
Dave Vandervoort.
We have the trailer.
Dutchman.
It's amazing. It's so beautiful. It's available right now. It's like $3 on iTunes. I watched it. It's 10 minutes long. It is stunning.
Did you work
visually spectacular.
I actually didn't work on it, but it's just, it really is just amazing. It's a work of art.
It really is, yeah.
Beautiful, yeah.
And it's Titmouse. And it's not comedy.
It's good to see you, Jack. So you're still
That? No. No. I'm all good with that. No. I'm better now.
We could do great things together, you and I. Unfortunately, I'm a little chained up at the moment. Find that key, bring it to me, set me free. If you don't set me free, we're gonna have a problem. You gotta focus on your goals, Jack. One mistake and you can find yourself undefeated. But you make a couple of the right moves, and all of our dreams will come
Wow,
that's
fantastic.
super cool.
So is that supposed to be like a voodoo deity?
Yes.
Yeah. It's just $3. Is that what you said? That's
Yeah,
like,
it's $2.99.
Yeah, that I mean, it's so
Worth it.
That's
So
crazy.
worth it. It's so
It
good.
looked fantastic.
That it's funny. That trailer actually gave me, and we've talked about anime on the show before, but that actually just gave me like a really kind of nostalgic hit of watching like anime at like 3 a.m. super tired. Which I
Yes.
think, by the way, is the only way to watch animated television for me. Is I love being super tired in the middle of the night. 'Cause at least
Just think it's
a
some
better,
really bad acid trip.
No, just it's a better impression for me. I love it, but that harkens.
By the
back
way,
to,
Brad,
like,
that's how China, Illinois is going to get watched by
I was just
robot
thinking,
fans.
yeah.
He's going to be like, oh, dude, if it's like 6 a.m. and I've been up for 3 days, I'll watch your show.
Got the perfect show for it.
that was beautiful though. That was cool.
Yeah, I absolutely go check that out.
Titmouse makes China. That's I don't know if we were clear about that, but we make China out of Titmouse. They do all sorts of shit like that.
Venture Brothers.
Metalocalypse,
Well, so
Super
Ben
Joe,
Kalina
Venture Brothers.
is my pimp over at Titmouse, and he's been very good to us. I'm always like, Ben, I want so and so on the show. I want so and so on the show, and he's like, okay, but you have to plug this other product, and then it's always something awesome that I want to watch anyway.
He's a very friendly pimp.
The friendliest of the pimps.
His backhand is so silky smooth.
Yeah. Keeps it in a glove with like lotion. And
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's just
Exfoliates
preserved perfectly,
it.
Yeah.
People ask for it.
Yeah, please.
Just one backhand, please, before
a little
I go.
bit. Just a little.
Yeah.
Little smackaroo.
Should we talk about the weird sex party that we went to last week?
What?
Please.
If you want.
So there's a thing in Los Angeles called the Pleasure Chest. It is a sex store. Once a year, they do a 100% totally free party, as long as you RSVP, called Glory Hole. There's a giant furry
It's a
room.
Muse song, I think, right?
And there, you look through the holes in the giant furry room, and there's people having sex in there. It's weird.
But it's let's clarify.
And free booze.
And free booze.
I'll describe
also.
to you nudists, right? And you think, oh, people that run around nude all day long. Ooh, man, I start seeing all the hot chicks that I see every day in advertising and all the
Nudists
ripped,
aren't good-looking
hot
people.
No,
They
exactly.
aren't.
That's the thing. We walked out of there and I go, as I should have already known, all the people having sex are all the people you never want to see have sex. With all the amounts of hair that you don't want to see in the places that you don't want to see it, and all doing all the things that you're like, well, I guess everybody definitely has something that turns their crank. However, it is usually the least palatable thing to a mass audience ever.
Honestly, these topics always bring up that Seinfeld episode where Jerry dates a nudist, and everyone's so jealous, and he's like, "You don't get it. When she sneezes, things move that you don't think would move." And I've been to nude beaches and I've seen nudists, and it's the same thing. It's just like you're like, this is gonna be, and then immediately you're just let down. You're just uncomfortable.
15 years old.
Yeah.
There's a nude beach in Latona area of Seattle over Madison, and it's a little hidden private thing.
I'm familiar.
And all I remember seeing was a woman of about 70-ish with dreadlocks, and she's white.
Of course.
So the nastiest dreadlocks you could possibly have, with all of her freaking basset hound ears hanging down to her knees, playing ping pong in the water. It's just like, thanks.
White people past 65, it's a pretty steep drop. Let's be honest. It's a
That's kind of the thing that I love about awkward nudity. Like, I went to a nude beach, Black's Beach in San Diego, and there were some aged men playing volleyball.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a naked beach the first time I went. It's like right below the Salk Institute, which is like this center for like the most brilliant people in the entire world, like doing
Yeah.
crazy science, and then right under them,
They need to watch
It's like-
awkward people naked all day long to be successful at their endeavors.
See, I had like a really good build-up. I had a really good build-up for my first nude beach I went to was in Hungary, and I was 17, and there were tons of hot girls around. I was like, oh my god, I was so stoked. We're all going to the beach, knowing it's a nude beach. I'm just like cloud nine. Like there's all these Hungarian girls around going. None of them take their clothes off. None of the girls my age. It's all the elderly people, just hands on hips, hanging it out.
It's their right. It's what they've earned.
No, totally. I totally
They
get it. But
survived
like,
to this
I
point.
had like so much excitement and build up to have like these like 20 Hungarian beautiful like teenage girls to take all their
Right.
clothes off, and they didn't even try. They didn't even come close.
Well, but did it teach you a valuable lesson? And that is, if your tits and your ass are really worthy of being seen and creating,
Then you
know,
don't.
very bonerific,
Yeah.
then you don't let the goods out
Yeah.
for free. There's
That's
always
like
a cost.
I think it's like the thing. It's like if all the people that are nude out there, they're like, no one gives a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Like I think that's what's going through their head.
It's
like
called quitting.
I don't care. You don't care. I'm just, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen the trailer for Gravity yet.
We should watch trailer for Gravity. I am extremely excited for this movie.
Okay.
I usually don't buy into the hype of movie reviews, but like for guys like Cameron to say it's like the best sci-fi movie he's ever seen.
Really?
Who's Cameron?
And James Cameron.
It does have Sandra Bullock in
He's
it, you know.
I know who James Cameron is.
And then there's other like I'm such a big space nut that this is like. I should change my Twitter name to Space Nut.
The far out Space Nuts.
Space Nuts.
This is it seems like there's a trend this year for a lot of movies with like one or two casts.
Yeah, like
like that Robert Redford movie, All Is Lost,
Yep.
where he's on the boat.
Yep.
I want to see a double feature of this and All Is Lost.
I want to see this 3D IMAX. People are saying this is nothing about this movie is horror, but it looks terrifying.
Intense. Yeah, absolutely.
This is the U2 Mama, Tom Bean guy.
Yeah. He also did Children of Men.
And
I did not like
the
that
best
movie.
Harry Potter.
Yeah. Prisoner of Azkaban.
Oh, he did that. Well, that was fantastic. I did not like Children of Men, though. Or City of Men.
Children
of
City
Men?
of Men's a different movie.
Children of Men has Clive Owen, though, right?
Yeah.
I did not dig it. He did create some really tension-filled moments, though, in that movie.
Yeah.
Like in that tore-up apartment building, and they're getting shot at. And
Yeah,
everything.
that one big shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why.
What about Ad Nauseum?
What? Which one is that?
Ad Nauseum. It's got Kiefer Sutherland as a.
Oh, is that the really low budget one?
No, it's something he did.
Then what you do is you get a demon.
He's hang gliding.
Amazing.
Or you get a guy hang gliding off the edge of the
Get
Grand
a guy in there doing that. Yeah. Get a guy doing a hand plan on the edge of the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, I'm super excited about Gravity.
Love it. He's like, oh, tell me about it. What? No, I love Kiefer.
So interesting. I have no
look it up.
idea that I made that up. I love myself so much.
Having sex, anal sex with a demon.
I have no
Do you
idea.
know what I'm
you guys
fucking
are
talking about?
No, I don't.
No, I know, but that's,
No idea.
I like the idea that there are so many folks that are going to go, what are they, anal sex with a demon while but I want people to go and watch this stuff. It is really worthwhile.
Yeah, it's the anal sex with the demon.
No, there's actually no demon having anal sex.
No,
but-
Kiefer Sutherland, now I'm remembering, he's like the head of an ad agency.
Yes.
And he's telling them what they should put in a commercial or something. And
Fucking simple shit, people.
Yeah. Get a guy doing a hand plan on the edge of the Grand Canyon.
Okay, so this is part of the show where we ask people, what are you reading? What are you watching? What are you playing?
Oh, shit.
What are you consuming?
Yes.
Grand Theft Auto?
Grand Theft Auto.
Still on the Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys
Yeah.
haven't talked. Have you?
I've barely played. I've been so busy jumping between the production of the game, but I did play a little Grand Theft Auto, and it's good. The storyline's better because the last Grand Theft Auto storyline was so boring. But it's good. But it's like, here's the thing with Grand Theft Auto now, and I'll just go a quick rant. Whereas, like, it's like you can just in Grand Theft Auto, you're like, if you need money, you just go hold up a liquor store and like, yeah, I just robbed a liquor store, but there's no morality check there, so it's like, who gives a fuck? Like, there's no, so it kind of like removes it. What's it?
You don't get the
police
level?
stars. It's all there, but like like all you have to do is just ditch them, and then they forget you ever existed. Where I think they should like bring in an element of like if you hold up a store or something like that, you can get caught later. You know what I mean? There's just no...
I think there is some stuff in that to the point where, like, if you fuck over the wrong person on the street who happens to be in a gang that you don't know about...
They'll come after you, but I think...
later.
But, like, you as a player, you have no reason to give a shit. Just, like, fuck it, I can just get in a car, go run all these people over, and just go hide for 5 minutes, you know?
The number one selling thing ever.
Yeah. By the way, it made $1 billion in 3 days.
I know. It's
3 days, and the previous record was 14 days.
I know.
So it didn't even beat it. It just murdered it. It was insane.
I mean, I haven't really fucked around with...
Was that Call of Duty?
It was Call of Duty, and before that was Avatar. Yeah.
I haven't really fucked around with the live aspect of it yet, but is it even up and working? Because I heard there was a lot of problems.
There's a ton of problems. I mean, you have like probably like 16 million people trying to log into this online right now. So it's just not working. But the online's really cool because it's 16 players can hang out in a world and like you can either battle each other. You can do everything from getting on a motorcycle and try to knock each other off, or you can hold up a liquor store. All the in-game characters are all there. There's all missions. It's all live. It's really cool. So
shit.
I just played this crazy game called Frogger the other day. You're like on the other side of this highway,
like Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, but you gotta jump across this thing without getting hit. It's
hard.
Violent.
It's difficult.
It's just a helicopter view.
Yeah. There's only one view mode.
It's like Grand Theft Auto 1. Do you guys remember that?
Yes, I do.
And two. When they broke their lineage because they have all fake cities, but they went to London, which is one of the best unknown Grand Theft Auto things.
That was 2.
There's Grand Theft Auto 2 London, where you got to go to like 1969 London.
Yes, it was all very mod.
It was super fucking cool.
I think the reason why I fell in love with Grand Theft Auto during that time period, like the 1s and the 2s, is because I was such a huge fan of Spy Hunter. I don't know if you guys remember that old game. It had the same kind of cars and views as the Grand Theft Auto did.
Yeah.
That Frogger in London was crazy too.
Oh man, Frogger in London was
Frogger London edition, yeah.
It was just nothing but...
It was the mob, yeah. Frogger got in with the mob, and he had to get his way... Like, sell some drugs to get his way
out.
The
whole soundtrack was by Cream. You're just tripping the whole time.
So, this weekend, speaking of video games, IndieCade is here in Los Angeles.
Double nerd convention. I will be there.
What's up? You want to be my name?
I'll be there. I already have meetings set up there. I'm going to be there full force.
I'm going to preview day. Shit's happening. IndieCade, for those of you that don't know or have never listened to this podcast before, it is the independent video game convention. They have one at, they have a mini one at E3. I saw some awesome Oculus Rift stuff. I really hope that I'm going to see one more Oculus Rift stuff tomorrow at the more expanded one that they have down in Culver City. It's super cheap to go to, and you get to go out and you get to play all these games that you would never get to play otherwise. And the selection process is rigorous, so they're really cool games, and they're all using like tech in different ways. They finally found there's a couple games that what was the stupid glow stick controller?
Oh god!
I thought that was
PlayStation Move.
Yeah, there's there's a bunch of games that
Johann Sebastian Joust was the big famous one, where you try to stab each other without it's a pretty funny. It's basically like
it sounds like my sex life.
It's like Video Game Twister. It's pretty funny.
Sounds like a Falco record.
Falco. Speaking of German stuff,
he's got me thinking now.
The fun thing about IndieCade is the upside and the downside. The upside is that it's a bunch of designers making games in ways that you are not used to, which is really cool. The downside is it's a bunch of game industry people making games and games you're not used to. So it's not really about it being indie. It's more about it just being interesting. So it's a little bit of a misnomer with its label, but you go there and you can kind of see how people can think of an idea in video games. Like most people think of video games as like Mario and Frogger and Grand Theft Auto, and these guys are like a video game can be. You can play a video game by being blindfolded, put a pair of headphones on, and sounds can teach you how to navigate a space or something like that. So it's pretty cool. It's really experimental stuff.
You should patent that.
That's the first time I've been interested in the idea of a video game.
That's all. IndieCade is all stuff that's the opposite of what you normally see.
Wow.
Yeah, it's probably why I love it. Every time I go, I have such an amazing time. I can't wait.
I mean, a friend of mine last year had a game that you played, and the game, it's like a horror game, but you wear an EKG monitor, and the higher your heart rate goes, the harder the game becomes. So if you get scared at the game, it just becomes harder, and you get more scared, and you start to fall into this hole that you can't get out of just fear.
Wow.
And the game actually, and the game was designed and tested with troops that had PTSD.
Fuck.
And it was like a UCLA thing. It's amazing. My friend made it, and it's incredible.
That's insane. So does it get to a certain point, like your heart rate's just up there, and there's like a certain cutoff, and then it just all of a sudden the screen just goes bright red and it just says "pussy"? Is that it?
Basically, no. It honestly it just gets so hard that you just can't beat it.
That would be my video game, basically.
Have you ever played Brain Ball?
No.
I went to a fucking, I can't even remember what it was. There's a magazine called Wired. It was a Wired thing.
Oh, Wired, yeah.
And they had like all sorts of shit. And they had this video game where you wore a thing on your head, and it's like a air hockey kind of table.
And you control it with your mind?
And there's a ball, and there's opponents across, and you tried to, the person who could clear their mind the best could advance the ball.
So hard.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fail so hard.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Thinking about boners constantly. That would just never go anywhere.
It was a tough game to win.
A brain fuckler would mess that up, though.
I know. That's why I lost.
That's one of the reasons I love IndieCade was that's the first time I got recognized on the street with you and I.
Yeah, we got this podcast.
For
yeah.
I was like, wait, like people know who I am? Because I was in porn for 6 years. I never once got recognized on the street, ever.
And it's for the podcast. Yeah.
It's for the podcast. Yeah.
That's I bet you probably got recognized. People probably are just a little reserved in calling that out.
I like your vagina. It's fucking cool.
Hey, you're
yeah. Excuse me, honey. I gotta go tell. I gotta go steal this.
I gotta tell her how much I love her left inner labia.
Yeah.
That is the longer one.
Yeah.
If you look at the videos, there is definitely some.
We've all got good sides. We've all got good sides.
We've all got our. You can't shoot me from the right with an above.
No, seriously, my contract stipulates left only. Yeah. So what do you?
How do we pull this back to that whole? What do you read? What do you?
I'll jump right in there. I'm reading the final book, and I know like it's been like a year being on this podcast. The final book in the Silo series. I'm reading Dust. It's amazing. Hugh Howey. Again, real quick. Amazing sci-fi stories.
Well,
double amazing story because this guy is like one of the first people to. He's never ever. Now he has publishing deals, but he made all of his money originally with 0 publishing deals, all self-published online book writer, which is really hard.
That's
so
fun.
It's pretty cool.
That's fun. I like that. Kind
now
of
he's getting optioned for like Ridley Scott wants to make his shit into a movie, and this guy did everything himself. He had no help from anyone. So support him. Check out the Silo series; they're fantastic. Playing Grand Theft Auto, listening to New Cult's record, and I'll move on.
Yeah. Josh Barnett.
Me? Well, I'm still on Hooked on Phonics, like book 3. I'm working my way through it, and I'm hoping to get into that.
You're the first person to reference that brand in like 15 years.
Well, I like my references to be completely out of date, so that only those over 40 will actually laugh at it. I'm going for dads, essentially.
The dad demographic.
I'm a dad.
And I'm working my way up to a good old IC Sam. But honestly, but it's like the really edgy one where he has to pick up the dog's crap and he doesn't really know what to do with it.
I recently saw an article of the most shocking moments in a Babysitter's Club.
Wow,
it's a really good list. You guys should search it. It's hilarious.
But I am reading. I've been a little out of the reading circuit for a bit. But
thinking about coming back.
Yeah, but I was reading. I think it was Heldenhammer by Graham Mitchell. It's a Warhammer fantasy novel.
40,000 or regular?
No, it's regular. It's regular, and
that's hardcore.
It is. I mean, it's all hammers, smashing skulls, and killing people and murdering stuff. And I was reading it before my fight, and so I thought, this is really
get you excited for.
Well, it didn't get me excited, but it was already like, I like reading about that. I would read it anyways because I'm a big nerd for all that Warhammer 40K or otherwise stuff. So,
which fight are you talking about?
The last one I had.
Well,
not the one with sobriety. I won with another person.
Can you tell me a little bit about that fight? I want to know it one more time.
It ended fast.
Basically, I just stepped across the ring and I'd already looked in this guy's eyes and seen that he was pretty much not wanting to be there anymore. And there was
I actually watched a replay, what I thought was a replay, by the way, of this fight, which was actually the whole fight. I thought it was an instant I thought it was like a best of, but it was just the whole fight.
And I just walked right out there, I got in his face and just started swinging right from get, and backed him up. He tried to fight back, but eventually I just kept pummeling, which is technical term for upper body wrestling, like getting control of underhooks and arm control, and I just kept crushing him with knees in the guts, taking all his wind and his fight out of him, and popping him with elbows and short punches here and there. And then at some point, I just knew he was broke. So about 30 seconds later, I really laid him up and pulled him into position. I had his arm underhooked and his head posted off, so he couldn't get away, and I just crammed a knee right into his snot locker, and he fell like someone cut the strings on a marionette.
Jeez,
we have such different lives.
I do like how when I was watching the premiere, and I managed to end up sitting up in the front.
Yeah,
and so the whole time just thinking, oh God, I can't wait to see China, Illinois. You know, I'm such a huge fan, and I'm really psyched about it, and I hope I get to meet Brad Neely. And I hope I don't suck his cock too hard.
I was sitting right behind you. You're such an obvious person to notice. And a room full of animators, this gigantic man. And I was like, look at that guy laughing. I can't believe that guy's laughing.
He thinks this shit is funny.
Okay, I think we may be all right.
I was super, super stoked. Yeah, when Ryan's
basically I have never. Josh frequently takes up to 32 hours to respond to a text or an email. He's busy thinking manly thoughts, and he'll get around to things,
chopping trees and stuff, fighting bears.
He has never replied to anything so fast. It was like, hey, want to be my date to the China, Illinois thing? I got a +1. Yes.
Fuck you.
What time?
Right there. When is it?
Then you call her, I just want to confirm that I'm a yes. Thank you.
Sure. This is still happening, right?
Yeah, RSVP +1.
It was fun.
You're a very good player.
I was thinking, what cologne will Brad like? I don't want him to be
like a cool water
I don't
guy.
want. Yeah, I'm like, is he an Aqua di Gio? Or you know what? I bet he's an old-fashioned Aqua Velvet kind of dude. He's salt of the earth. He's America.
You got me pinned.
Not yet.
And on that bombshell.
That's where it is. All right.
Everyone, you're on Twitter and stuff. Tell people where to find you.
I'm Robot Pants, but I'm not using it right now. You can follow me. I'll come back someday, but I'm chilling for a while.
Yeah.
Josh L. Barnett on Twitter and Instagram, but more importantly, go to Brad Neely, at Brad Neely.
At Brad Neely.
FreezeComics.com. FreezeComics.com. Facebook, The Real Brad Neely. YouTube, The Real Brad
fake
Neely.
ones.
Fake ones. Fucking with you.
My name is Ryan Keely. Follow me on Twitter. That's at Ryan Keely, RyanKeely. We will not be on next week, but we will be on the week after. And that's going to be sexy. Redban, what's going on with you?
This Halloween, we're going to be, Death Squad's going to San Diego for the American Comedy Co. It's going to be me, Tony Hinchcliffe, and Sam Tripoli, and we also have a bunch of surprise guests that we'll be announcing soon.
Love Sam.
Go to AmericanComedyCo.com.
Muff Said.
Muff Said.